So I absolutely love the food in Brazil, especially in Rio Grande do Sul. It's so good. Like I would be fine just eating the beans and rice they gave me every single day because it was good. It was very simple but very good. The food in Rio Grande do Sul is generally pretty simple. It's not spicy generally. Kind of the staple of every dish is you'll have your rice and black beans. And then with that, you'll often have some sort of meat. You'll have sausage or like some chicken or beef. And there's a lot of salads, like, well, not as we usually think of salads. They have like a lot of potato salad. And you'll also have like on the side sliced tomatoes and onions. And you'll put those on top of your beans and rice and like eat it all together. So some things that are unique to Rio Grande do Sul, the kind of the rodizio tradition and churrasco, which we see in restaurants like Tucanos and whatnot, actually originated in the region of Rio Grande do Sul. They have tons of cattle there, and so tons of really good meat. And so sometimes on Sundays or on special days, members would they would make that kind of meat for us. A lot of people have what's called a churrasqueira in their backyard, which is kind of like having a barbecue in your backyard here. But it's like a big, like brick kind of fireplace almost, but it's lifted up. And so you'll stick huge chunks of meat on these spits, and they'll put them over the fire, and they'll leave them there for about an hour, and then it's very good. And so that was always really popular with the missionaries whenever the members would do that. I liked that a lot. One of my favorite dishes that people would make, it's very unique to Rio Grande do Sul, is called carreteiro. And so carreteiro, it originated with these cowboys who, like 100 years ago, would be traveling around the countryside in Rio Grande do Sul. So since they were traveling, they couldn't bring like fresh meat with them. So they would bring what's known in Brazil as charque, which is basically like beef jerky, but it's a lot thicker and meatier. But so they'd bring that around with them, and when they'd stop for the night, and after a long day of working out in the fields, they would make a fire and put kind of like a big pot cauldron type thing over the fire, like hang it up on a little tripod, and they would fry inside of it this charque, this meat, along with tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, and a few other things. They'd fry it up until it was nice and good, and then they would throw in the rice. And they'd fry the rice, just the grains, the dry grains, along with it for a little bit, and then they throw in water and just let it boil out until the rice was ready. And so you end up with this, like a pot full of rice, but with lots of meat and like some fried vegetables mixed in, and it's really, really good. And people eat that with, like, you'll put sliced cabbage on top of it and eat that, and it is really good. That was one of my favorite dishes from the region that people would make. Another food that was very popular in the winter, especially when it's a little bit colder, is lasagna that they make there. And the lasagna in Brazil is different from the lasagna here. They didn't really use like red sauce. They used a lot of meats like ham and chicken and turkey and stuff, and lots of cheese, and that their lasagnas were really good. And they would also make I think my favorite dessert was definitely pudim. Pudim is a little bit like flan, if you've ever had that, but it's better. It's way better. It's really good.